I'm Stuart Lee.
And I'm called Richard Herring, and we're here in Montreal with all the top comedians in the world at the prestigious Just for Laughs Comedy Festival. There has been some kind of terrible mistake.
There certainly has.
Oh, yes.
And here on the floor, we're surrounded by archives of stuff from the festival over the years. Before we start this week, we're going to take a look at examples of when comedians have used their unusual physical appearance to try and milk cheap laughs out of the dim-wit muffin eaters that comprise the Montreal... Rich will rephrase that,
This week, physical comedians whose gangly shapes and weird rubber faces bring delight to the discerning festival crowd.
Good. Now, man is unusual amongst the animal kingdom in that he's able to turn a weird appearance to his advantage. For example, a monkey that looked like Emo Phillips would soon be chased out of its tree and stabbed to death with sticks by other monkeys.
It's true.
But Emo Phillips, in the human world, is lauded as an entertainment god.
He is a god. But me and Stu are actually unique amongst comedians in that we are both physically perfect human specimens.
That's right. What Rich has done there, though, is confused being physically perfect with looking like the bastard love child of Grizzly Adams, his dad, and some dogs.
Oh, yeah, and you're physically perfect, are you?
Yes.
Well, I'm glad, actually, because what I'm doing in this is very clever. I'm pursuing a spiritual path here, by which the human body is irrelevant to my comedy.
As is the laughter of the audience.
Yes, it is.
It is. Let's roll the clips.
Oh, and by the way, Frank Skinner's been included amongst this gallery of freaks because our producer felt that he looked like he was wearing women's makeup. In fact, we'd just like to make a rather serious announcement that Frank has quite a rare skin condition which makes his face as red as a berry and will actually result in his untimely death within the next 5 years.
Not so funny now. Anyway, here is a parade of mutants that would disgrace a Victorian freak show.
I just got these pit bull terriers. Do you know these? Yeah, the Americans gave us the pit bull terriers. So if there's any Americans in, thanks for that, because they're really lovely, warm-hearted dogs, aren't they? Look at me all day like this.
Top there. He apparently is a bit of a standing joke amongst American comedians, but me and Stu think he's great.
We really liked him, yeah. Now, what have we learned there, kids, from watching those clips? Well, what we've learned, basically, is that the weirder and more odd someone looks, the funnier they are. It's that simple.
Yeah, take someone like Stu, for example. He's a normal-looking bloke. He's not funny, is he? He's never been funny in his whole life.
And he never will be.
He never will be. But then look again at someone like Emo Phillips. He's always funny for the simple reason that he's a hideously deformed scarecrow.
That's right. But don't take it too far. Remember the historical example of Joseph Merrick, the Elephant Man, right? Now, when Merrick started out on his Elephant Man act in the 1900s, all he had was one slightly large ear, right?
Just a little bit bigger.
It was the understatement that was funny, Elephant Man, little ear. But Merrick made the mistake of thinking that the more he looked like an elephant, the funnier it would be, until finally he looked so hideous no one could look at him.
Yeah, he crossed the unwritten line there, didn't he, Stu? You know, people don't laugh at physical deformity.
Not in public, anyway.
You know, it's like Carrot Top. If Carrot Top had a vegetable for a head instead of a human head, you know, if he was a carrot, that would be just tragic. It'd be, no one could laugh at that.
Sad
it's
thing.
Very sad. But anyway, coming up now is the man who's been described as the Joseph Merrick for the 90s on acid.
It's Phil Kay.
He's from Scotland.
Welcome back.
Just for that comedy question, that's all.
OK, stop it now, Rich.
Sorry, yeah, no.
Very funny, like it. Good one. Now, today in the show, we've been looking at comedians who use unusual, ugly appearance to try and get laughs. And that's highly appropriate, because when Rich, my comedy partner, was born in the Cheddar Hospital in Somerset, he was so ugly that the nurses actually tied a nappy around his face.
Yeah, very funny, Stu.
They thought it was his arse.
That's not true.
No, you're right, it isn't true. When my partner Rich was born, in fact, he was so ugly that the nurses in the Cheddar Hospital tried to stamp repeatedly on his head and kill him so that he would never be able to spawn any more of his dog-faced Grizzly Adams mutant line.
That isn't true either. The days when people in Somerset murdered unusual-looking children are long gone. Now they just make them dance jigs for broken biscuits. How delicious those biscuits were, I recall.
Now, our featured performer today is Drew Carey. He's big news in the States at the moment because he's a normal bloke. He's just like his audience. Normal bloke, except with a lot more money than them, obviously. And it says in the press release that Drew is from Cleveland. He likes beer, burgers, baseball, and he also likes playing the accordion.
Completely normal bloke then. Look, Stu, it also says here, Drew adopted his crew cut and thick glasses while in the Marines, but he still can't understand why people laugh at the way he looks.
Can't understand why people laugh at the way he looks.
My comments earlier that he will never be funny in his life. So to recompense for that, I've personally paid for very expensive plastic surgery to make him the most hideously deformed comedian of all time. He makes Joseph Merrick look normal. Will you please welcome the Antler head comedian?
What's brown and taps at the window? A poo on stilts.
It's brilliant.
See you next time.
Yeah, great, Stu. It's a really great act.
It's not good enough
You're
to just
funny
have...
now.
It's not good enough just to have antlers on,
It
is it?
is. They're funny. Makes you look good. I've paid for them now. You've got to have them. It's good. It's not just a camera trick. It's real.